Hi everyone. Today, very amazing story to explain. So, don't waste the time. Let's go.
Hello everyone, my name is David. Today we are going to take a look at another real story with you. In a road accident, a young man's brother dies. Since the death happened in a road accident, the police arrive, investigate the matter, conduct a post-mortem, and finally hand over body to the family. The last rites are also performed. However, the younger brother of the deceased suspects that his brother's death was not natural, not caused by a road accident, but rather that someone conspired, planned to kill him, and murdered him. He kept telling the police officers again and again, but they said it was just his imagination, that nothing like that had happened, and his brother had died in a road accident. He kept going to the police station repeatedly, and every time he went he would say, "Find out the truth about my brother's death." But the police kept stopping him. Months passed and he became so upset and disappointed with the police and the system that one day he decided that, even if the police wouldn't do it, he would find his brother's killer himself and uncover the reason for his brother's death. He had resolved to reveal the face of his brother's murderer to everyone, but he had no resources, no facilities like the police did. Still, with determination in his heart, he was convinced that he would eventually find out the truth. About 2.5 years had passed when one day the police suddenly received a message. The message said that a man was about to kill someone, and within moments he would commit the murder and then escape. It urged the police to catch him before he fled and save the other person's life, and it even included his location. The police rushed to the spot and caught a man. A little later, during questioning, it turned out that the person who had been investigating his brother's killer on his own was the same person who had just helped the police catch this man. Later, he discovered that the man they caught was actually his brother's killer. The person who had called the police was the same man whose brother had supposedly died in a road accident and who had been working to track down his brother's murderer. Then the police also realized that this confirmed the man's claim that his brother had been murdered. So, the man the police had caught was arrested, and it turned out that he had committed a murder almost 3 years earlier. The police, after registering the FIR, thought they had finally found out who had killed that boy's brother 2.5 years ago. They said the case was now closed, but when they brought him to the station and began questioning him, finding out who he was, where he came from, and what he had done, a completely new story came to light. When he told it, the police were shocked, because the man they had thought was just an ordinary murderer was not ordinary at all. He was, in fact, one of Gujarat's newest and most dangerous serial killers, a man who had committed 12 murders and had never been caught before. He committed murders in such a way that the police often thought it wasn't a killing at all. Sometimes it looked like a natural death, sometimes like an accident, or in some other manner, but the story didn't end there. While the police were still questioning him about whether he had committed only those 12 murders or more beyond that, they kept him in custody and formally arrested him. A few days after his arrest, the man died, and his death happened right there in the police station. The police sent his body for a post-mortem, and when the report came back, it revealed that he had died in exactly the same way he had killed his 12 victims. When the post-mortem report came before the police, it stated that he had died of a heart attack. The police were surprised. How could 12 people all have died from heart attacks, and how could he possibly cause someone to have one? Then a new story came to light. In August 2021, a boy named Gohir lived in Ahmedabad. One day he went out of his house, and in the evening, his family received a call from the police saying, "We have found your son's body. Someone hit him with a car." His family rushed to the hospital, saw the dead body, and afterward the post-mortem was done. Then the body was handed over to the family, and when the post-mortem report came, it stated that chemicals were found inside his body. But the police didn't address what kind of chemicals they might be, whether from medicine or something else. They didn't give it much attention. The police's main focus was clear. They considered it a hit-and-run case. However, his younger brother, Higar Gohil, suspected otherwise. He felt certain that it was a murder, not a road accident, and kept asking the police who had killed his brother. He would plead with them, visiting the station repeatedly, but they never helped him. He kept telling them, "At least pay attention to the chemical part. Doctors have clearly mentioned in the post-mortem report that chemicals were found in my brother's body. Yet you are calling it a hit-and-run case. My brother never even drank alcohol, had no bad habits, and never consumed anything that could cause harmful chemicals to be found in his system." He said, "If my brother didn't eat anything harmful, didn't drink alcohol, didn't take drugs, then how did chemicals get into his body? This is a conspiracy. Someone deliberately gave him some kind of chemical medicine, or made him consume something that caused his death. You should investigate this." But the police kept saying that unless the higher authorities ordered it, or there was a media trial, they couldn't take any action. So they kept sending Jigger away with the same answer. Poor Jigger would leave, and months passed like this at the police station. Finally, Jigger decided to forget about the police, realizing they wouldn't do anything, and that he himself would pursue the case and investigate it personally. When he began his investigation, he started with the period around his brother's death in August 2021. From June to August, he obtained all of his brother's mobile bills and extracted the call details. Getting CDRs and other such records was easy for the police, but for an ordinary person, it was not possible. Still, he managed to collect all the bills, track them, and began talking to his brother's friends. While doing all this, a few months later, he suddenly realized that in the last month or a month and a half before his death, his brother had been in frequent contact with the occult practitioner named Naval Singh, aged 42. By coincidence, Naval Singh happened to be a distant relative of Jigar. Since he had become an occultist, the fact that he and Jigar's brother were in frequent contact didn't initially seem strange. Maybe, as a relative, his brother simply enjoyed talking to him. But when Jigar looked back at the past, he realized that for months and even years, they had never been in such regular contact. While his brother was alive, he had never called Naval Singh this often, or spoken to him so much. Usually, they would only talk if they met at a family function. However, in the month before his death, his brother had been speaking to Naval Singh a lot, which made Jigger wonder, why was his brother talking to this man so much all of a sudden? Then Jigger began looking into Naval Singh. Naval Singh's story was that he was once just an ordinary man, living at home with his mother, grandmother, and uncle. He was very fond of watching Crime Patrol and often watched crime shows with great interest. He also regularly read newspapers, keeping up with news about how occultists used black magic and rituals to deceive people. Instead of learning occult practices for genuine purposes, he became interested in how these techniques could be used to cheat and exploit others. He decided he wanted to learn black magic, not to help people, but to rob them. Eventually, he found the occultist, made him his master, and asked him to teach him how rituals worked and what exactly he did. The occultist agreed and began training him. After a while, the master told him, "I've taught you everything I could. Now you just need to start practicing at home. So he began performing these rituals in his own house. His mother, grandmother, and uncle all found it very strange that this ordinary man had suddenly started lighting fires, performing rituals, and engaging in such superstitious practices inside the home. The family was very shocked, wondering what their son was doing at home, and there were many arguments about it. All this continued, and Jigger began to feel that something was definitely wrong. Why had his brother suddenly gotten involved in this occult business? When Jigger learned Naval Singh's backstory, he also found it strange because his brother had always stayed far away from such things. But somehow, a month to a month and a half before his death, he had gotten involved with this Naval Singh, who was not only a distant relative, but also a practitioner of occult rituals. Jigger thought if Naval Singh had been in contact with his brother shortly before his death, then he must know something about how his brother died. Maybe his brother had told him that someone was threatening him, or shared something unusual that was happening. Jigger didn't meet Naval Singh directly, but he began gathering information about him. He found out that Naval Singh owned a car, which he often used at night and during the day. At night, he sometimes ran it as a cab, hiring a driver and giving him a portion of the earnings while keeping the rest for himself. Occasionally, Naval Singh would even drive the cab himself. He also had a habit of staying up late at night. That's when Jigger got an idea. Since Naval Singh was a distant relative and they had met very rarely, almost never face to face, they had barely interacted. This meant Naval Singh didn't know what Jigger looked like, and Jigger decided to take advantage of that. So one day, after learning everything, Jigger approached Naval Singh when his taxi was running and gave him a fake name. He told him, "I'm a driver, and if I could get a chance to drive your car at night shifts, I'd be grateful." Since Naval Singh often changed his drivers, he agreed and said, "All right, brother, you can drive." He handed over his car to Jigger, who would drive it at night and return it in the daytime. In this way, Jigger was living a double life. During the day, he was himself, Jigger, and at night he was Naval Singh's driver. As days passed, Jigger slowly began to earn Naval Singh's trust. While gaining that trust, he learned that Naval had many sides. He was an occultist, he was on YouTube, and he even made videos. Through this Tantra mantra and superstition business, he ran different schemes where people would pay varying amounts each month. Besides that, he also had a car rental business. Gradually, Jigger began to find out in detail about all the different kinds of work Naval Singh was involved in. But now, after working with him for months, Jigger wasn't just there as a driver. He had stayed with Naval Singh for 7 months because he wanted to know what was going on in Naval's life and what connection, if any, he had with his brother's death. Gradually, Naval Singh also began to trust Jigger. One day, Naval said to him, "Look, driving these cars is fine. We make some money. But how much can you really earn this way? I make good money from occult practice, and if you want to earn quickly, I'll give you an idea." He continued, "Big people come to me tempted by greed. I have many businesses, and plenty of businessmen and regular people visit me hoping I can double their money. Sometimes they give me 10K and I turn it into 20K. Sometimes they give 20K and I make it 40K. Naval was revealing all of this to Jigger, unaware that Jigger was only working with him to uncover the truth. He was slowly spilling his secrets, and Jigger was listening carefully. Though at this point, Jigger still didn't know if any of it had anything to do with his brother's death. Now, Naval Singh was telling Jigger everything. Finally, after 7 months, Jigger's hard work paid off. It was December 1st, and that night, Jigger arrived, took the car, and started his duty. Naval Singh said to him, "Come on, tonight I'll go with you." The two of them were driving along a road in Ahmedabad. It was dark at night when Naval Singh said, "If you want to make money, listen. Tonight a businessman is coming to me to get his money double." Jigger, in an innocent tone, asked, "If you can do that for him, why don't you double mine too?" Naval replied, "That's all a scam. People do it because they're greedy." "I just robbed them." Surprised, Jigger asked, "How can you rob such big businessmen?" "How do you manage it?" Naval explained. "This is my way of working. I invite my clients to a particular location and tell them that if they bring anyone along, their money won't double and all the Tantra mantra will fail. Tonight, late at night, a businessman is coming, supposedly to double his money." Jigger asked, "So you'll really double it?" Naval replied, "No, I'm not going to double anything. I'll rob him." Jigger warned, "If you do that, you'll get caught." Suddenly, Naval Singh told Jigger to stop the car and pull over at a certain spot. So Naval Singh gets out of the car, opens the trunk, and inside there's a spare tire. He reaches between the spare tire and pulls out a bottle. Inside there were 2 bottles. One was a liquor bottle, and the other looked similar. Pointing to it, he says, "This is liquor. In this bottle, there's a chemical. I've added this chemical to the liquor bottle. When the businessman comes, I'll give him the liquor. I'll secretly mix in a little bit of the chemical and make him drink it. After that, I'll take his money and leave from here. 15 minutes later, the businessman will die." Now Jigger gets nervous and wonders how exactly this chemical will work in just 15 minutes and how it will kill him. Then Naval Singh says, "No doctor in the world, no hospital, and no police can ever figure out the cause of his death. Even if a post-mortem is done, the only report that will come out will say he died of a heart attack. Nowhere will it say that chemicals were found in his body." At this point, Jigger starts to believe he's in the right place and becomes fully convinced that Naval Singh is connected to his brother's death. So Jigger says, "How can I just believe you?" Naval Singh then replies, "I'll tell you about one man." Then he says that he once killed a man in the exact same way, by giving him liquor mixed with the chemical. That man fainted, and as soon as Naval Singh put him into his car, made him drink, and 15 minutes passed, he pushed him out of the vehicle. After pushing him out, a fast car came from behind and ran over him, crushing him completely. He added, "This happened about 2.5 to 3 years ago. After his death, everyone thought he had died in a road accident." The moment Jigger heard this story, he realized that Naval Singh was talking about his own brother. Right there in front of him was his brother's killer, the same man he had been working with for the past 7 months. But this wasn't the end of the story. In just a short while, another businessman was about to arrive, and Naval Singh planned to kill him in the exact same way he had killed Jigger's brother.
"I used to pay Midjourney monthly. Now I use this AI for a one-time cost and unlimited designs forever. Here's how.
Let's say you want to create a coloring book. All you do is type your idea.
Now, Jigger had to act to save the businessman's life and make sure Naval Singh ended up in jail. Now, Jigger thought to himself that there was still some time before the businessman would arrive. Since Jigger had been dealing with the police for 2.5 to 3 years, he had the phone numbers of many officers and had even developed a sort of friendship with them. He had gone through so many rounds at the police station that he knew how things worked. So he made an excuse and moved a short distance away from Naval Singh. Once he was far enough, he messaged a police officer and said that in a little while someone will kill a man and that would look like a road accident, or that someone had died in such an accident. He sent the officer the location and told him, "I'm right here." When the police officer saw the message, since he already knew Jigger, he realized Jigger wasn't lying. Immediately, a police team was sent to the spot. As soon as Jigger saw the officers, he went up to them and said, "I've been telling you for years that my brother's death wasn't natural. It wasn't a road accident. It was a conspiracy. But you never helped me. And now, the man standing right here in front of me is my brother's killer, Naval Singh. Naval Singh said, I didn't do anything. At that point, Jigger told them that a businessman was supposed to come there soon, and he gave the police the man's full name and details. The police contacted the businessman and found out that indeed he had been coming there to get his money doubled. Then Jigger showed them the liquor bottle in which Naval Singh had mixed a chemical. The police seized all the evidence and took Naval Singh to the station. The chemical bottle was sent to the lab for testing, and Naval Singh was interrogated. It was nighttime when he was arrested. By morning, Naval Singh had confessed his whole story. The police realized they had caught him right before he could commit another murder, so not only had they saved a man's life, but they had also caught the killer. Up until then, everything Naval Singh had told matched his claims. He admitted to committing 12 such murders. According to his confession, about 10 years earlier, he had fallen under the influence of a occult practitioner. He had wanted to make money, and the occultist had told him that people are very greedy, and in the hope of doubling their gold or money, they follow occultists around. Many of them are simply robbed, and the occultists flee to another city. But some occultists actually kill their clients. The occultist then told Naval Singh, let me teach you this skill. And that's how Naval Singh learned the method, how to kill someone if you wanted their money. And now, Naval Singh used to watch a lot of crime shows. By watching these shows, he learned about a certain chemical that could kill someone if consumed, and the real cause of death would not be detected. During these crime shows, he studied extensively about this chemical and discovered that it was used in dry cleaning for washing clothes. Then he remembered that one of his friends worked at a shop that supplied items for dry cleaning. He went to him and said, that chemical you bring, I need a bottle of it. The friend had no idea what Naval Singh was planning to do with it. The friend simply gave it to him. Naval Singh went home, already practicing his so-called occult rituals there. The family began to wonder what path he was heading down. His grandmother and uncle often got angry with him. He thought, why not test my first experiment right here at home? With something entirely different on his mind, he used his grandmother as his first target, making her drink water mixed with the chemical under the pretense of a ritual, and killed her. Sometime later, he did the same to his mother, and then killed her too. After that, he had a quarrel with his uncle and eliminated him in the same way. All three of these murders happened inside his own home, so no one suspected anything. He never even took them to the hospital for a post-mortem. After killing those three, his confidence grew even more. Now, he began searching for people who had greed for doubling their money. One by one, he started targeting them. He would often go to Rajkot, find some businessman there, lure him with the promise of doubling his money, and invite him to a private place for rituals. Sometimes he even showed small amounts being doubled to gain their trust. But whenever there was a large sum of money involved, he would call the person alone under the pretense of performing a special prayer. During the prayer, he would act as if he was conducting a sacred ritual, then give blessed offering, and along with it some water mixed with the chemical, killing them and taking the money. After drinking it, those people would die, and he would steal their money. Later, when the post-mortem was done, it never revealed the true cause. The reports would simply state that the person died of a heart attack. There was never any mention of the chemical because it was hard to detect. After committing 12 murders, when this story reached the Ahmedabad police, they realized they had caught Gujarat's most dangerous serial killer so far. However, the police suspected something. He claimed he had committed 12 murders, but they believed that in 10 years, he must have killed more than that. So the police kept Naval Singh in their custody. But suddenly, on December 8th at 10 a.m., while in Ahmedabad police custody, he fell ill. He was rushed to Varanasi hospital, but the doctors declared that he had died of a heart attack. The police suspected that maybe Naval Singh had secretly consumed the same chemical in jail that he used to give his victims in order to avoid confessing more crimes. It was also possible that his death was due to the severe third-degree interrogation methods the police had used to extract the truth from him. To this day, it remains unclear whether Naval Singh's death was caused by him drinking that chemical or if it was natural. Even today, the police do not know exactly how many people Naval Singh killed. They strongly believe the actual number was much higher than 12 he admitted to. There were many murders he never revealed.
So this was today's story. Very amazing story. I like this. I hope like you. So like the video, subscribe to channel and hit the bell icon. Bye bye.